This is a question about probability that is studied in second grade of junior high school, but it is a question that is combined with graphs of linear functions and proportions. It's a great way to review linear functions, and it's also a great way to practice thinking carefully. I am sure you can solve it, so please take your time. As an example, consider the case where the large dice rolls 2 and the small dice rolls 3. This is the case when A is 2 and B is 3. There are two straight lines determined by the roll of the dice. First, let's consider the straight line y equals A over bx. Since A is 2 and B is 3, we get y equals 2 over 3x. The slope of the line is 2 over 3 because it's the number multiplied by x. The denominator of this fraction is the increase in x, and the numerator is the increase in y, which determines the slope of the line. In other words, each roll of the dice determines the amount of increase, which determines the slope. In the other straight line, the denominator and numerator are reversed. This represents a straight line with a different slope for the same number of dice. We can find the probability by finding out how many combinations of A and B there are in which the figure surrounded by three straight lines becomes a triangle. If you think about various examples, it seems that most of the cases are triangles. You can see that a triangle cannot be formed if the straight lines are parallel to each other. Also, the straight lines determined by the dice may end up using the same equation, resulting in only two straight lines in total. At this time, we are unable to form a triangle. I will count the cases in which these triangles cannot be formed and solve the problem. First, when they become parallel, a straight line whose slope is 1 over 3 becomes parallel when the slope is also 1 over 3. The slope of y equals b over ax is 1 over 3 when a is 3 and b is 1. But there are other cases where A is 6 and B is 2. If you reduce it, it becomes 1 over 3. Also, there are cases where the slope of the other straight line y equals A over bx is 1 over 3, right? When A is 1 and B is 3, and when A is 2 and B is 6. Two straight lines determined by the roll of the dice are never parallel, so you can see that parallel straight lines are created in these four cases. Also, if the two straight lines determined by the dice end up being the same straight line, this is when the two dice have the same number. Since the denominator and numerator are the same number, they are reduced and both lines have a slope of 1. Now we know that there are 10 ways to create a triangle. Since two dice are rolled, there are 36 possible outcomes, so if you subtract 10 ways and there are 26 ways left, a triangle will be formed.